The glint of her empty jewelry box hit me like a fist to the chest. I stood frozen in our bedroom, the silence screaming louder than any argument we'd ever had. Her necklace, the one I'd saved for months to buy, the one she swore she'd never take off, was gone. And so was the trust I'd built my life on. It was a Thursday night, unremarkable except for the faint unease that had been gnawing at me for weeks. Claire had been distant, her smiles too quick, her eyes darting away when I asked about her day. Just work stress, she'd say, brushing it off with a laugh that didn't reach her eyes. I wanted to believe her. I always did. Tonight, she was getting ready for dinner with a client. She stood before the mirror, her auburn hair cascading over her shoulders, the sapphire pendant I'd given her for our 5th anniversary catching the light. It was a simple piece, but it meant everything to me. To us, I thought. You look beautiful, I said, leaning against the door frame, trying to sound casual despite the knot in my stomach. She glanced at me through the mirror, her lips curving into that practiced smile. Thanks, babe. It's just a quick meeting. I'll be home by 9. 9. Huh? That's optimistic for a client dinner. I forced a chuckle, but my eyes lingered on her, searching for something, anything, to explain the unease. She turned, her green dress hugging her frame, and crossed the room to kiss my cheek. Don't wait up, okay? You've got that early meeting tomorrow. Her perfume, floral and sharp, lingered as she grabbed her purse and headed out. The door clicked shut, and the house felt too big, too quiet. I tried to distract myself, flipped through channels, scrolled my phone, but the clock on the wall ticked louder with every passing minute. By 10:30, she wasn't home. I texted her, everything okay? No reply. I told myself it was fine. Clients run late. Phones die. But the pit in my gut deepened. At 11:15, headlights swept across the living room window. I stood, my heart thudding, as Claire's car pulled into the driveway. The front door opened, and she stepped inside, her face flushed, her hair slightly mussed. Hey, she said, kicking off her heels. Sorry, it went longer than I thought. I nodded, my throat tight. Client keep you late? Yeah, you know how it is. His chatty. She laughed, but it sounded forced, and she avoided my gaze as she hung up her coat. Chatty, I repeated, my voice flat. You didn't answer my text. Her hand froze on her purse. Oh, crap. My phone was on silent. Sorry, babe. She pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and set it face down on the counter. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna shower and crash. She moved toward the stairs, but something stopped me cold. Her neck was bare. The necklace, the one she never took off, was gone. Claire, I said, my voice sharper than I intended. Where's your necklace? She paused, her hand on the banister, and turned slowly. Her fingers brushed her collarbone, as if just noticing its absence. Oh, I must have taken it off at the restaurant. I was worried I'd lose it. Lose it? My pulse quickened. You never take it off. Not even when you sleep. Her eyes flickered with something, panic, maybe, before she forced a smile. I know. I didn't want to risk it. I'll call the restaurant tomorrow, okay? It's probably in the lost and found. She turned and climbed the stairs, her footsteps quick, like she was escaping. I stood there, the air heavy with questions I didn't want to ask. Not yet. Sleep didn't come that night. I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, her soft breathing a cruel contrast to the storm in my chest. The necklace wasn't just jewelry. It was the late nights I'd worked to afford it, the way her eyes had lit up when I gave it to her, the promise we'd made to always be honest. Its absence felt like a crack in everything we were. The next morning, I couldn't shake it. While Claire was in the shower, I did something I'd never done before. I checked her phone. My hands shook as I typed in her passcode, her birth date, praying I'd find nothing. But there it was, a text from a number she hadn't saved. Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about you. My vision blurred. The timestamp was 10:45 p.m., when she was supposedly still at dinner. I scrolled up, my heart sinking with every message. Flirty exchanges. Plans to meet. Words like beautiful and soon that should have been mine. I set the phone down, my chest caving in. The bathroom door opened, and Claire stepped out, wrapped in a towel, humming softly. She froze when she saw me. "Matt, you okay?" Her voice was cautious, her eyes darting to the phone. I swallowed, my voice barely a whisper. "Who's the guy, Claire?" Her face paled. "What?" "Don't." I stood, my hands trembling. I saw the texts. "Last night was amazing." "What the hell, Claire?" She clutched the towel tighter, her lips parting, but no words came. The silence was deafening. "Say something." I shouted, my voice cracking. "Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me it's not what I think." Her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't deny it. "Matt, I didn't mean for it to happen." "Didn't mean for what to happen?" My voice shook with rage, with pain. "You didn't mean to lie? To cheat? To throw away 10 years?" "It wasn't like that," she whispered, stepping toward me. "It was just, I don't know, a mistake. I was lonely, and you were always working, Anne. Don't you dare blame me." I backed away, my heart pounding. "I trusted you. I gave you everything. And the necklace? Where is it, Claire? Did you lose it, or did you give it to him?" Her breath hitched, and she looked away, her silence louder than any confession. My stomach twisted. I pictured her with someone else, the necklace in his hands, a token of something she'd never meant to give me. "Get out," I said, my voice low, final. "Matt, please. Get out." She stood there, tears streaming down her face, but I couldn't look at her. Not anymore. She grabbed a bag, threw in some clothes, and left without another word. The door slammed, and the house swallowed me whole. Days blurred into weeks. I went through the motions, work, eat, sleep, but the emptiness clung to me. I found the necklace a month later, tucked in the back of her nightstand drawer, wrapped in a scarf. It was still there, untouched, like a relic of a life that no longer existed. I held it, the sapphire cold against my palm, and wept for the first time since she left. I didn't know why she'd hidden it. Maybe she'd meant to wear it again, to pretend nothing had changed. Maybe she'd kept it out of guilt, a reminder of what she'd broken. I'd never know, because I couldn't bring myself to call her. Friends told me to move on, to date, to get back out there. But how do you rebuild when the foundation you stood on was a lie? Every quiet moment brought her back, the way she'd laugh at my bad jokes, the way she'd curl into me during thunderstorms. I hated her, but I missed her, and that contradiction tore me apart. One night, I sat at the kitchen table, the necklace in front of me, and wrote her a letter I'd never send. I poured out everything, the love, the pain, the betrayal, the questions that haunted me. I wrote until my hand cramped, until the paper was smudged with tears. Then I burned it, watching the flames consume every word, every hope. The necklace went into a box, along with her old sweaters, her favorite mug, the photos I couldn't bear to look at. I sealed it and shoved it into the attic, out of sight but never out of mind. 6 months later, I saw her at a coffee shop. She was alone, her hair shorter, her face thinner. Our eyes met, and for a moment, I saw the Claire I'd loved, the one who'd promised forever. But then I remembered the texts, the lies, the necklace, and I turned away. I didn't hate her anymore. I didn't love her either. I just felt nothing. And that was the worst part of all. As I walked home, the weight I'd carried for so long felt lighter, not gone, but manageable. I'd survived the betrayal, the heartbreak, the unraveling of everything I'd known. I didn't know what came next, but for the first time, I believed I could find out. The necklace stayed in its box, a ghost of a promise we couldn't keep. And I kept moving forward, one step at a time, into a future I'd have to build alone.